400 times for their body weight. It's not quite as bad with an adult. Just like a big guy can drink more beer and not get drunk. But for a child, imagine a newborn baby given 3 shots at birth. Then 6 months later, 5 more shots. Then when they're 18 months, more shots. So I see these fake studies by the media, and they're always deceptive. 5 minutes, you can prove they're a lie. But when study shows kids are still getting autism, even though mercury's out of the shots. But then you go read the study. The study was done with regular vaccines. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, they lie, and 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 they lie. But the good news here is, on the Federal Reserve, or on vaccines, or on the war, or on warrantless wiretapping, or the police state, in every poll, the majority, way over 70%, are against all this. We're the people. This is our country. You can't make us do all this. So the good news is, the momentum's shifting. So the establishment is firing everything they've got at us in an attempt to make us capitulate. And it's not going to work. The police aren't bad. Most of the FBI people aren't bad. Most of them are investigating bank robberies and kidnappings. It's that higher up group that are bad. Most people in banking aren't bad. They're just giving you a home loan. It's the big bankers up at the top. Most people in Congress aren't bad. They're just corrupt and whores and competitive, so they sell out to be in power. We have to get the message out about how bad this is if we continue along this line. Now, listen, I'm going to come back in the next segment, the segment after that, and get through this bank of callers. Have your questions and comments ready. Woody, Malcolm, Raul, Eric, Derek, and Hawaii, and others. But I wanted to bring Ted Anderson up, and tomorrow I'm going to fish the clip out and play it. Ron Paul said they tried to kill gold. It didn't work. And that's what mainstream news is reporting. They put hundreds of billions of dollars. In fact, I have the Reuters article in my stack. Ted can fill us in on it. Hundreds of billions of dollars. What was it, a $200 billion buy? They dumped this gold on the market, leveraged its trillions, thinking it would drive it down from above 1,000. Instead, it shot up to 1,099. And you heard it from Ron Paul, who's an economist, not just a medical doctor, saying they're going to lose the war on gold. He believes it's only going to go up. I don't know. But all the smart money is on it going up. And at least as the dollar plunges and G20 meets to do it fully, they can't kill gold because it's real. They may be able to drive it down for a while. Doesn't look like that, but it will always beach ball back up like pushing a beach ball to the bottom of the pool. Ted, take us out to break with what Ron Paul was saying earlier about gold and then today's gold offer. Ted Anderson of Midas Resources.
Well, Alex, they've been playing those tricks. I mean, going all the way back to the middle 1980s. We went to our market peak in 1980 where gold hit $800 an ounce, silver hit $50 an ounce, and then it started backing off down into 1982. The central banks of the world unitedly had tried to suppress the market price of gold and keep it below $400 an ounce for the longest time. Anybody that wants to have information on that can find it. It's not like it's hidden. You can go right over to GATA or GATA.org. That's GATA.org. Now, the latest thing is, I mean, they do postings up there for just recently as well. And honestly, I mean, that's what I mean when I say that when the gold prices drop down and I'm able to buy in those dips, usually most of the time that is occurring here in the New York market. And the reason why it's happening is because the Federal Reserve System has such a heavy interest in seeing the United States dollar stay strong and gold stay suppressed. See, it's the game of the fiat currency makers is to try to keep you out of anything that it stands in the way of their profit-making machine. And I have to say that it is one insidious profit-making machine because they have legal tender laws pointing at them that allows them to create the currency of the nation, and they lend it to us, and we have to service interest on that debt. Now, you have to realize what that means. I mean, what has our country been doing here for the last at least 30 years is deficit spending. So where does deficit spending, who does it help and who does it hurt? Well, the United States people have to go into debt to get the currency, and you can see that the United States government has done nothing but deficit spending and put the taxpayers on the hook for even more and more and more of their hard-earned wages, and that money eventually filters right back up to this elite banking system, and they have control of the world. I mean, when Bill Clinton was in office, he would be telling you that this is going to happen in the economy and that and so on and so forth. It was one of the few surpluses that we ever ran. But back then, the United States people were going so far into debt that the government didn't have to. You know, there just has never been a time since 1913 that the United States of America has been able to enjoy prosperity without having the equivalent increase in the debt. And it just puts people on the hook, you know, to such an extreme, it's ridiculous.
And we have the very parasites that have engineered this not getting in trouble, but getting even more power now.
They're getting the bailout money, Alex. We're having to even go further into this to give them the bailout money.
Which isn't bailout money. They're using that to not loan and buy up real assets, and they're bragging about it. It's come out in McClatchy newspapers that Goldman Sachs secretly bet on the U.S. housing crash to bring down their competitors. I mean, this is a criminal group. Ted, tell folks, do you still have gold that you bought in the 920 market as it's up at...
let me say it this way, Alex.
Excuse me, Ted. Hold on just a second. I was getting the numbers wrong there because I end up talking so fast. Need to get that number right. You still have gold at the 1,020 level of when you bought into the market, with it now up at 1,090.
Yeah, that's exactly what is. That's the way to say it truthfully. I have francs currently right now at 238. I have British sovereigns at 293. I have walking Liberty halves right now at $8.69. And I'm also carrying the Lakota Nation rounds at $22.30.
All right, stay there, Ted, because I was just thinking back to 2 weeks ago when it was at 9-something. Again, 1,020 is now a super low that Ted bought it, and it's up at 1,090. I mean, just getting my mind wrapped around that.